Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. And for those who was looking for me at 9 o'clock, apologies, had to push the live back. Apparently, I got my schedule wrong. Thought I wasn't working until tomorrow night, but I gotta work this whole weekend. But the vacation starts Monday, baby. Cool gamer, what's going on? Wake and bake, what's going on, my guy? Happy holidays to everybody that's pulling in again for the night. I'm probably not gonna drag this all night neither. Just gonna get a few things clear. Willis, what's going on, my guy? Just want to get a few things clear though. But first things first. Hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Saturday. Hopefully everybody is prepared for their weekend. Hopefully everybody is ready for all the food and the festivities and just being amongst the family. And again, just being safe and being vigilant at all costs. Appreciate everybody that tuned in earlier for the conversation. Definitely was one that was needed. If you missed it, you can catch the replay. But the title is clear as day, and I'm gonna get to it. And I'm gonna try to call it down both. I'm gonna try to call it down both cylinders because again, it's needed right now. There are some of you who are embarrassing your kids in the worst type of forms and fashions, and while doing so, you are emotionally and mentally scarring. You're placing resentment basically in their heart. And the reason is because, again, they are supposed to be looking up to those who gave them birth. And if the people that gave them birth are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or if they're doing certain things that's all in all embarrassing, it says enough. Riders, what's going on, baby? Serious, what's going on, baby? Like I said, I'm gonna call it down the middle as much as I can. I'm gonna start with some of the fellas. It's time for some of y'all to start being fathers. It's time for some of y'all to start fighting for your kids. Start fighting to be a fixture in your kid's life. There's nothing more hurtful or even more embarrassing than a child knowing that the father don't want to have nothing to do with them at all. Don't even want to be responsible. It's embarrassing. It's also embarrassing. It's also hurtful when that same parent is not coming to the school events, not coming to specific events for them as far as recreation, sports, all of that. Proms, recitals, things like that. They take heed to that. Didi, what's going on, baby? They take heed to that. It's embarrassing, it's hurtful for them because, again, how can I feel any type of way or feel good about myself when my parents don't care about me, my mother don't care about me, my father don't care about me? Again, you are doing so much of an injustice when you're not basically going by the codes and the standards. Listen, no way kids should see some of y'all men out there that's supposed to be fathers out there being irresponsible, going back and forth to jail for no reason, Again, you're not taking pride in the things you need to take pride in. It is embarrassing though. And again, not only are you creating a mental scar, you're keeping a chain that's supposed to be broken even tighter than it need to be. Because they're going to essentially look at this and say, if this is how it's supposed to be, then maybe I should follow the blueprint. Shouldn't be that way at all. Fathers, you got to start getting more involved. Again, I don't care if it's a situation that you and the baby mother can't get along. You should want to be a part of your child's life. Another way some of y'all embarrassing your kids is having public fights and disputes in front of everybody. It's embarrassing, it's hurtful, and it shows a great deal of stress towards them. Because why should my parents be fighting and arguing? Some of them will actually think they're the reasons why y'all arguing. So again, you're already causing a mental stress that you don't need to be causing. I've always felt like this. If you're gonna come together and do something, you want to come together and raise the kids right. Come together and raise them right. It's embarrassing when there's again programs and stuff going on where they want to see the parents. They want to know who this talented individual is coming from, and they don't show up at all. Parent teacher conferences, things along those lines. It's embarrassing because it's going to show again you don't really care when you really should. And then it will cause that resentment because by you failing to meet these standards or by you failing to really be a part of your child's growth, they're going to take that into consideration. There's nothing worse than a child seeing a father. I'm still speaking to the men right now. I'm gonna get to the ladies next. Don't worry. That's why I said call it down the middle. It's gonna be a conversation that some of y'all ain't gonna be prepared for. Well, you might be prepared for it. You might not want to have it. It's all good. The message is still getting out one way or another. Again, there's nothing worse than your kids seeing you up and down the streets and you doped out your mind. Kenny, what's going on? It's nothing worse than the kids seeing a father in the streets, doped out, or in the streets, not doing anything constructive. Anything your kid is supposed to look up to you as a father as far as what are you doing and what kind of blueprints are you bringing to show them this is how it really is. Tell them it's time for y'all to really open your eyes. And again, get more involved with your kids. Stop embarrassing them. Some of y'all are gonna have to swallow your self pride because that's another thing that's killing every aspect, even down to your family traits. And even if it's not certain things that you don't show up for, you should be able to make up for that. I feel like that if there are things that they really want you to be a part of, you as a parent are going to have to do what you have to do. If it's something they really take as important, listen to that and actually be a part of that. When a kid is telling you that, listen, this means something to me that would really be nice if you hit, and you don't show up, then they're gonna put that down in their mental block. It ain't gonna look good for you. It ain't gonna look good for you because in the long run, guess what? It's supposed to be more responsible than that. But I've always said this: men and women know what they're supposed to do. Boys and girls, they don't know what the hell they want. They don't. From the time they're young to the time they start reaching into adulthood, you as a parent, your job is never over because even when your kids get into adulthood, you're still going to worry about them. You're still going to want to make sure that they're doing the proper thing. Definitely going to want to make sure they're not seeing their way to prison or seeing their ways to an early grave. So again, your job is never done as a parent. You brought life into the world. Remember that. It is time for some of y'all to get in accordance. Start being the focal part of your kid's life and raising them the right proper way. Because yes, it takes two to make a child, but it takes a village to raise a group of children. And the parents are gonna have to start coming together. Talking about the real parents, they're gonna have to start implementing plans. If it's not too critical and too crucial, implement a plan to where your child is getting that proper balance. Even if y'all not together, your child should be able to be comfortable and have a strong bond with both mother and father. That's another thing that's embarrassing again when they are starting to fight and argue and it's the kids involved. Another thing that I feel is an embarrassment to these kids, and this is something that I'm starting to see that y'all doing now. You implementing it to the kids. It's not just you parents. There's other factors that's involved in this, but still, you as the parent not checking it. There's some of you, your kids is already into scamming. Your kids is already into doing certain things that could get them in trouble. The one thing I could say about some of this situation is that there are some of you who are actually lucky that the Lord can't do what they want to do to your kids. Because some of you are really breeding them even before they turn 10 to be cold, heartless, and don't care. No way in the hell you going to tell me a 10-year-old is getting in more trouble than an adult, but they can't do nothing because, again, you are still under the statutes. But you're lucky it's not a situation like that for real. Where if at any time you commit any type of crime, it can hold you. There's some of y'all who are doing certain things and then you're showing it to your kids. Stop doing that. You can't say that you love your offspring, you want to see them be the best, but you not showing them the best and you're not putting the best moves in front of them so they can use it, so they can utilize it. You know, again, you seeing the fabric being ripped from right in front of us. And at some point, I'm gonna speak to you single parents too, because y'all need to get this message as well too. Oh, don't worry, I got time cooking right now at work, but I'm cooking. So, gotta be able to sit down at a table at some point and figure out a course of solution. There are certain things you know as a parent you're not really supposed to do. Lying to your kid ain't wonderful. Incorporating your kids into stuff that you know could be a downfall for everybody, that's not good neither. Your kids should never be a part of any type of crime or any type of misguided and misleading thing. Shouldn't be. It don't sit right. Teaching your kids how to scam using credit cards or using debit cards, that's not showing them nothing. It's not showing them nothing, but just this is how you got to get it to live. Break that chain of that. See, I believe in getting it out the mud. I do believe in that part. Nah, realist, I see where you going. I already see where you going. He said, well, nah, I'm telling you. I just watched the situation unfold last night coming to work. I meant to speak about some of it this afternoon, but I said this will go right into play because it still is dealing with kids. Now, your kid not having no money on a debit card and trying to pull a fast one. Now, last night, see, this is another thing too. It goes both ways too. I'm going to say it like this because you're going to have some people who are definitely going to be on point, and when they spot something wrong, it's going to be on. And again, some of you parents are setting your kids up for the lions. Den. You need to be more aware of what they're doing. And even if you are raising them or trying to raise them the right way, make sure they're not getting the wrong type of influences. Again, you have to be strong in this. There is no such thing as half-ass parenting or lazy parenting. It's either you in or out. Because again, guess what? You're the one that created them. So now it is your choice and it is your duty. Make sure you're not building them up to be a criminal. You ain't building them up for an early graveyard. Like I said last night, and I can understand homie got caught with the little dupe only because, store crowded. Only two of y'all behind the actual counter, and you got maybe one person that's making food and doing whatever. Now, my thing all in all is your kids should never have the notion to really steal or do anything. And the sad part about it is you try to use a debit card that you know didn't have no money on it. But the sad part was, if homie would have been on point to a degree, I don't think they'd have walked out the store with anything. That man jumped from behind the counter and ran out the store. But see, that could have been a problem right there. Because you got some people that don't care. They ain't trying to hear that. Now, one person was telling him, yeah, you can't run up on them like that. You know, like, those is kids. Yeah, but those is kids that, again, just pulled a fast one. This is something that you see from time to time, for real. Parents, you got to start making sure your kids is good on all levels. They shouldn't have to worry about scamming, stealing, or doing anything above. Shouldn't have to. See, now that could have been a problem because, let's keep it real. You doing that to somebody that you know for a fact they look like they don't tolerate that shit with their kids. Now, yeah, he was kind of wrong because he kind of stirred some people up the way he ran at them. But in the same token, they need to be held accountable too. See, this is the problem. You can't coddle even when they doing stuff along those lines. You can't. Again, this is exactly why you need to be strong, a united front, and make sure that your kids being raised a solid way. No way in the hell you want to tell me your child could have possibly been gone to jail. It's not like they was young. No, y'all in junior high. You old enough now to where if you get caught up in something, they could possibly hold you. Why go through all of that? See, now this is the one thing. Now, on one level, there's some of you adults out there that need to practice patience. You got to practice patience because, look, you're going to always have a group of people that, regardless of what, they're going to try to get you with that. Yo, you know you can't be running up on them like that. They kids, man. You know, I know you ain't doing nothing, but still, bro, you know, this is, you know, like, you shouldn't have to worry about that. You should have some sort of restraint. If someone pulled the fast one on you, just do like most of the normal spots doing that. All right, I remember your face. And besides, you got cameras. So it's not hard to review, zoom in, do what you want to do. But again, you always supposed to pay attention because you never know. And it's not saying that everybody going to try to pull a fast one, but it's sad that it's the youngins pulling the fast ones. Where are they getting it from? If they ain't getting it from you. And again, as a parent, you need to be on that. Child shouldn't have to worry about no arrest record or no none of that coming into adulthood. They definitely shouldn't be playing follow the leader. And if they gonna follow anything, they should follow instructions from their parents on how to move and how to keep it moving. Might not like what's being said, might not like the fact I'm saying it, but you need to accept what's being said. Because from the outside looking in, that's not a fucking win at all. It's not. It's a guaranteed loss. That is a clear and utter guarantee loss on your behalf. Because when something does happen that you don't want to happen, who could you possibly blame? Not going to take accountability for your actions as a parent, still going to continue to lose that fight. Yes, I'm bringing this back up again because again, some of y'all are really embarrassing these kids, and you're embarrassing yourselves by not trying to, situate whatever problems you can situate. I'm gonna be honest with you. It should never be a war amongst us. I get where you're going with that, but it should never be a war like that. You know what it is? The war is the fact that there's a communication breakdown. Now, again, the way the guy jumped over the counter, I don't think he was going. I don't think he was going to do nothing really. He probably was just going to let him know, like, or either that, or he's probably going to try to get back whatever property he was taken as far as the food was concerned. But then again, you never know that neither. And that's why I said it's time for some of you parents to really like be on board. Because you might have some people, if they having one of those ill days, your child could be a victim. That ass. Your child could be some sort of a victim. If they don't get handcuffed, they can end up getting beat up. And then look, now you want to have people that are going to be outraged and going to come to the defense, and half of them ain't going to fully know what the hell transpired for some of it to happen. But it shouldn't happen in the first place. Again, making sure your kids is good. My bad, because I'm trying to see where the hell that helicopter going. Man, helicopter them. So didn't I just say this earlier? Some of y'all got to stay home. Like some of y'all got to really stay home. I'm gonna preach that for the rest of 2024. Some of y'all brothers stay home. Some of y'all sisters stay home. You definitely hear that. They definitely close by. Let's see. Sound like it's two of them up in the air. My bad, y'all. You know that. But again, you gotta think about it to be clear. Hold on one second. Corey, what's going on, baby? Give me 1 second, y'all. Shay, what's going on, baby? Happy holidays, everybody pulling in. I'm still cooking. Give me 1 second, though.
Yeah. I kind of figured it was gonna be some BS. Mm, my bad, y'all. I kind of figured it was gonna be some BS behind it. I was like, look how long it took y'all to do that. But you really did some last minute shit too, so you know how that be. All right, my bad, y'all. No workflow. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest with y'all again. Gotta come to a conclusion right now. You have to really start making soul decisions and make sure those decisions don't affect them kids the wrong way. Again, apologies, y'all. Situation I was informing my coworker on, but other than that, um, yeah, I didn't get away from it neither. It really is time for growth, determination, and dedication and education on all accounts. See, the problem is there's some of y'all who have taken that route of lazy parenting, in my opinion. You're not really checking to see if your kid is where they supposed to be at. You're not making sure that the things they're watching is suitable for their eyes or suitable for them. And if you do, you're not explaining to them or you're not really breaking down what you need to break down. Christy, what's going on, baby? There's some of y'all who are not doing that. And I could tell. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Because I'm speaking on the next level too. Now I'm gonna start speaking to some of y'all single parents that need to hear it. I'm talking about the women now. Comes to my surprise again that sometimes y'all be the main ones that hurt your kids psychologically. Keyword, some of y'all. You young minded single women, you need to get out of that. Because you are doing nothing but breeding chaos. There's a reason why there's an abundance of effeminate men. There's also an abundance of emotional, irrational men. Because look what's going on. And again, I'm not judging, but from the outside looking in, it is a sad part. Um, Now I know this is probably a few days old, but something I just came across over the week, or over the weekend to be exact. Um, Most of y'all probably had seen that. Now again, I'm gonna say this: there's some of you who need to stop being so ghetto fabulous and ghetto ratchet, especially around the vicinity of your kids. I don't care how old they are. You're supposed to have a certain decorum and a respect for yourself. And I'm gonna say the same thing for some of you fellas out there. But I mostly have to say some of you young-minded women because again, there's no way you can tell me you're comfortable doing certain things to a point where your child is even crying. And then you got other people that are actually embracing it. That's not funny. It's not funny to see a kid cry because their mom's doing some shit they ain't supposed to be doing. It is not funny to see a kid cry when their father is doing almost the same exact shit. Or it's just not funny at all to see some of the shit they see. Y'all don't care how y'all dance in front of people. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care what's being said. Y'all don't care what's being done. That will traumatize somebody, especially think about it. It's being recorded and it's on the internet. You forgot this is an era now where damn near everything is being recorded. Every little function, get together, whatever, being recorded 9 out of 10. And that's a scary notion to know that regardless to what, that kid, regardless to what, is going to see that if he ain't already see that. Most of these kids are already on the internet watching stuff. So it's embarrassing too to see that your parent is up here or anywhere recording something that's just not meant to be recorded. You twerking, giving crazy, just you doing too much. Sorry, you did too much. For your child to have to come and even tell you you're tripping, and the look at it just like, come on, you're tripping. And even if they don't see certain things, don't let them hear or be aware of certain things. Gotta be careful what you're doing in these streets too. Keep it real with you. They're gonna have to, because in the long run, guess what? They ain't gonna sit well. This is why some of these kids right now are going through the bullying, they're going through the laughter, the laughter from others, they're going through the embarrassment. Because again, you're out here making yourself a spectacle. It's crazy. It shouldn't even be like that. It really shouldn't. I gotta start really catching yourself. You want to have your moments, all right, that's all bread and gravy, but there's a time and a place for everything. I'm sorry, but it's not right. Because I felt bad because that no kid, not just him, that's any kid. They should not be crying tears of pain and tears of agony because of what you're doing and what you're presenting around. And then some of you who are embarrassing your kids because of the way you're doing things, as far as your actions, as far as how you discipline them. No kid ain't trying to get roughed up, snatched up, and slapped up if they don't need to. And if it ain't necessary, there's no need to do it neither. Keeping it real with you. There's multiple ways that some of y'all are embarrassing them and it's really messing them up. And then we get what we get today. And again, they're gonna resent you and they're gonna take that resentment out on the world around them. It's time to break that curse. It really is time to break that curse. And again, my thing all in all is if you're not gonna be responsible, don't have them. Just real raps, don't have them. It's gonna be a problem. Don't want to conform or at least try to compromise what you need to compromise for the safety of your child. Don't have it. You got one, don't have no more until you know you're ready to have it. Like I said, I'm calling it down the middle. There's a lot of ways that you parents be embarrassing your kids. And you need to think solidly because again, if there's more kids involved, you don't want to continue the same pattern. You want all your kids to resent you at some point. Like I said, there's some of you who, even if you are together, there's some of you who are still kind of messing them up because if there's multiple kids, you're playing favoritisms to a degree. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Each child should get the equal love and the equal opportunity and the equal bond. Now, again, when your kids get older, it's solely their decision on what they're going to do and implement in their life. But if you ain't doing what you need to do right now for the better sake, sell them for a pipe dream. Then you should want to give a better notion of the world around them and give them a chance to really grow prosperously. You got to teach and not so much as preach, but you just need to teach. You know, and again, it's never easy when it's single parent situation. You can make do. There are some who are success stories coming from single parent background, or at least they in a success to where they not laying in the grave, they ain't laying up in jail for life. I'm sorry, but it's really damaging because again, you don't want to continue to see that same old balance in certain situations. You know, nobody want to have to worry about burying the child. They definitely don't want to have to worry about going to see their child every so often. And again, it will eat you up as a parent if you allowed your kid, especially one that's not well old enough to make a decision that could be costly. You have to teach them the right type of values, the codes. You have to. Again, there's certain things you shouldn't never be doing in front of your kid, regardless. You want to live, all right, you can live. Not saying you're not an adult and you can't make a decision to do what you do. But in the same token, have a time, place for it. And even when you got time to yourself and you're able to do whatever, still just be mindful of what you're doing in the streets and what you're presenting in the streets. I'm sorry, but we got to come to a conclusion now, man. What's more important and what's solely the purpose? They shouldn't have visuals in their mind that's going to mess with them. They shouldn't have to worry about being teased, talked about, or even put in the midst of just because. They shouldn't have to pay for your sin. And it don't just be the parents neither. If you got older siblings and they already doing certain things, that's an embarrassment. Some of y'all out here being too fast. Gotta catch yourself, bro. You want to smoke, you want to drink, you want to do whatever it is you're doing. Shoot, if you feel you want to you getting on your hot and horny mess, you do what you do. But again, make sure these kids ain't visible and nowhere around the circumference when you're doing what you're doing. There's some kids who witness their parents doing drugs, abusing drugs, sniffing, shooting, doing whatever. You don't think that affects them? That stuff is still going on to some degree right now. Some of these parents are not taking care of the kids the way they're supposed to take care of them, making sure they're not looking like rags, rag dolls. It's crazy. I think that needs to stop, man. You showing that you don't care for the kids when you are doing certain things along those lines. Again, you're harming them. It's crazy, man. This is why they have the anger. This is why they have. This is why they have the hate. They have the hate because again, you are showing them you don't care about them. It's time for some of y'all to start caring. And I'm talking about the ones who are being irresponsible at this point. It's time for you to start being. Huh? When are we going to start breaking the cycle and start breaking this curse? The key thing, no matter what you doing in life, even if you feel you ain't gonna make a change, you should have enough solidarity. You should have enough respect to make sure your kids are raised properly, so they don't have to follow whatever it is you do. And appreciate you for dropping those links, serious baby. Working hard for the 99 to 8,000, baby. It's time to start being more constructive and less destructive. Maybe it could be more productive. It's time to get out of that pit of despair for real. It really is. And I keep saying for the sake of the future, again, be more reasonable. Take accountability for the things you're doing around your kids. You love yourself, you should be able to love your offspring as well. My personal opinion, I've always felt, even if I had kids in the earth right now, there's things I wouldn't be doing around them. But yeah, and still, I would still be doing my thing. James, what's going on, my guy? Y'all already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Drop the link in a minute in case anybody want to chime in on the topic. I ain't gonna hold y'all all night neither. Um, but I felt this need to come out again because again, the actions and um decisions you make, especially when it is showing the wrong thing to your offspring, is a critical downfall for the whole family as a junction. Are you ready? What's going on, baby? And it really is sad because again, you don't want your kids crying and hurting because you just can't seem to get it together for them. There's some kids who are probably being scarred, and I could almost guarantee that just because, again, of the actions you are taking, even within your own house. Your kids shouldn't be witnessing anything, and they definitely shouldn't be overhearing anything. They don't need to overhear. That's why it's good to have code and having the right type of code. Jiggy, what's going on, my guy? Happy holidays again to everybody that's pulling in, whether you celebrate or not. And if not, just happy Blessings Day for being here another year. The worst thing in the world, again, 1 second. The worst thing in the world when they are visualizing and actually taking in what the hell is going on. And it ain't positive. It ain't uplifting. And I ain't gonna lie to you. The situation I was just talking about, I feel bad for that boy. Because not only did he have to witness something that he should have to witness, the fact that it's going to be all over social media and it could be like that forever, they ain't going to sit right with him. There's some of you who are making your people's viral moments. And I don't even need to be that way. Just think about that. In my opinion, she just made her child a viral moment. And in the worst fashion. There's some things, again, that once they see it and it's a consistency on that, they ain't going to forgive that. And you can't get mad at that. And this is where some of the rebellion will start coming in. As much as you would want to say, "Oh, who you?" It don't matter. They have all rights to feel a type of way because look at it. You presented that to them. Telling you, you're gonna have more hurt, more resentment, more pain, more tears, more stress, and it's gonna get brutal. Why should it come to that point? When all you gotta do is make a clear decision. Again, once there's kids involved, it's not just solely about y'all; it's about them, and it's about how y'all bring it together. Some of y'all embarrassing your kids or embarrassing kids around you, even your own family members, because some of y'all again fighting, arguing, and getting too beside yourself. That causes stress and duress for real. Can't do that. And then the sad part about it is some of them will start asking questions. And then what you gonna do? Lie to them? Can't lie to them. I've always felt when you're going to certain functions that you should keep it cordial, especially when you got the youngins around you. Now, if it's a party or any type of event and it's just strictly adults, hey, carefree, you do what you do. Yeah, as long as you ain't doing something that's going to embarrass them or they ain't going to hear about, you know, just do it the right way. Bronze, what's going on, my guy? I'm sorry because I really felt bad. Like that didn't need to happen for real. And it's not just the young men that get embarrassed. It be the young women too. Just like any son, no daughter is gonna want to see their moms doing certain things along the lines that really tread the boundaries of morals and ethics and codes. We all ain't perfect, yes, I grant that. We all are entitled to live a certain way, especially when we get a certain age. That's how you want to live. That's how you want to live. But in the same token, keep certain things under wraps. I hear you, Jig. Nah, because again, they're not supposed to hear nothing crazy. Doesn't matter on what level, they not supposed to hear nothing that can get the wrong type of ideas on. You think it's wise for you to be talking about certain things, especially if you already know that it could leave the bad and sour in their mouth? No. I'm gonna tell them I'm not gonna be saying certain things that I know I've done. I'm not gonna do that. The reason why I'm not gonna do that because it shouldn't be done. That's how you keep the ideas from spewing into their head. But being in control and being accountable for the things that you need to be accountable for. If I was doing something in the streets wild crazy, you think I would allow my kid to be a part of that? No, that ain't gonna happen. If I was out here robbing and doing whatever, you think my kid would know that? No, I wouldn't be discussing any type of damn business that I know for a fact they could probably possibly run around and say something on or end up doing, mimicking me. How that look? How would that look? And that's how some of y'all need to think. But we know it's not, you know, some just ain't gonna want to hear it, like I said, because again, they don't care about being a part of the destruction. And it's a sad world that we living in again. It's time for the villages to really start coming together. I'm telling you, that's the worst thing in the world again. They gotta sit wrong with y'all. They do. Because again, your kids shouldn't feel embarrassed. They shouldn't feel slighted. And they definitely shouldn't be conforming to anything that is going to hurt them in the long run. Be mindful of what you're saying again. Those words is powerful. Anita, what's going on, baby? That's why I'm saying you got to be more on the encouraging lines. Again, look at everything that's going on around you. And then from there, this is how you change the course, basically. If I know I'm looking at my child and my child is showing me signs of being happy and being carefree 1 minute, and now there's things that I know they not normal to do, they doing it now, I'm gonna start asking questions. Then I'm gonna definitely be on board, do more than just ask questions. Now I'm going to investigate. But then again, I would never try to have a situation where my child couldn't come to me neither. See, there's some of y'all that the kids don't want to come to you because you done embarrassed them one way or another, and you don't see it. I hear you. I hear you. Are you ready now? Because that's what I'm saying. Come on now. It's supposed to be a decorum, even with to a certain degree now. You ain't catching too much of the old heads smoking with the younger heads. I mean, you're not catching them doing certain things. A lot of times they tell you, man, listen, you gotta go on with your people, because that's how it was. You really think you was gonna have a group of kids send around a bunch of adults, and all the stuff that they know they doing, they don't know. They'll be looking like, who y'all looking for? What y'all waiting for? Like, what you sitting here for? Gotta have a conversation. That's the truth. Gotta have a conversation with your kids. And even if your kid is, and even if you're doing right and your kids still feel is they not comfortable, you as a parent, you still gotta stand your ground on something. You have to do your own investigation and still sit down and have to talk with them. At some point, they can't deny what you're telling them. They can't deny what you're presenting to them. That's all I'm saying. Be careful of what you're doing. Like some of y'all will be out here drunk as a skunk around your kids and don't care how you act. Again, they see that and they definitely soak that in and mimic that. It's like there's some of you who are out all hours of the night again with your kids, knowing that it's not a safe zone at times. 755, what's going on, baby? But you absolutely right. What you just said, serious, it's true. You gotta have a sit down with your kids at some points. Because again, you want to make sure they're in the best of spirits. You want to definitely make sure that they mental is where it needs to be at. And you want to make sure you're not missing nothing. And if you feel like you're missing something, you can start making your rounds and seeing, you know, what's needed and what's not needed. But again, pay attention to your kids. And that's the thing. Nobody should have to tell you that though. Nobody should have to tell you to grow up when it comes to you solely taking care of children. You made an adult decision to bring them into this world, so now you have to make an adult decision to raise them and do properly while doing so. It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be perfect, but it's the thrill of it. It's the satisfaction that you brought something into the world and you get the chance to be a part of its growth and be a part of all their growth. It could be 1 in 10, it could be more than that. And shout outs to all the parents that are really creating Clash of Clans as far as how many kids they're bringing into the world. And they are solely doing what they need to do again. It's hard, man, but it can be done. Sorry, it's just really about that time now. Come together, have those talks. I'm telling you this right now. That's the way you break the cycle right now that's been plaguing us for a while. Get right with yourselves and then get right with your kids. Condolences, my guy. You already. And that's the thing you are supposed to show them. You're supposed to show them how to have respect, decorum, same way you got it. You want to do what you do, okay, make sure you're not in the presence of kids. Again, that's the sole thing that changed from then till now. See, in the days, there were certain things that the adults just didn't present in front of us. And some of the things that was presented when we started to ask the questions, even if it was right then and there, the most we got was stay in your place. Or the ones will really break it down and tell them, well, look, you might think this is all cool, but it's not. Again, getting away from the sole purpose, getting them away from the sole purpose of even wanting to think about it. We didn't have too many people in our days doing things that we know for a fact would have scarred us for life. I don't think I walked in on too many people's parents, whether it was friends or not, and they was doing stuff that I know for a fact would have scarred us. So yeah, from my personal experience and from what I've come across, there's some things that some people are just never going to present around their kids, and I can respect that. Cage, what's going on? That's what we need to get back to. This is why I said it does feel like a war, but it's a war of communication. We are not effectively communicating with each other on the soul needs and wants and how we can make better changes. There was certain things, again, yeah, it's the truth. There was certain things you couldn't say. And especially if they was cool with the family or they cool with the parents, they ain't trying to hear that. No, damn well you'd have said the wrong thing to somebody, especially one of your mother or your father's friends. Slap across the scalp piece. Karate chop. One good time. Might have got punched in the stomach for real. And not on some hard shit, but you'd have got punched in the stomach. Nice little sit your ass down. Let you think about that. There's some of y'all that remember that. I'm quite sure at one point somebody then got caught with that swift, swift chop to the throat that you couldn't breathe. All you thought was just pause and cry, but you couldn't do either. Because that's how smooth and how quick it happened. It don't happen like that no more. Now again, I'm all for you disciplining your kids, but you shouldn't discipline them like they some next person in the streets. And there's some of y'all that are even fighting with your kids, and that's embarrassing. Like you gotta chill. Like it really is time to stop thinking that life is all about games. No, it's a balance. You have all your fun and games once you get certain things out the way. Again, your main focus. You got kids. Try to raise them until they get into adulthood. So I can tell you. And I'm not gonna lie, there are a handful of kids. And some of them are coming from bad backgrounds. They are coming from nothing. For those who know who they want to be involved with those people, again, bring back that good old Big Brother program or start promoting it more. Start getting the right people involved. Because again, everybody's supposed to chip in and come together as a community, as a collective, and bring that shit to fruition. Come on, man. Nah, so yo, Jig, for real, bro. Everybody that caught themselves getting the ultimate karate chop so smooth. You know, everything is supposed to have a meaning and a positive meaning to it. What is good for my kids? Me making sure that I don't present myself too much acting like a kid. Even if I'm going to be young spirited, I shouldn't be out here doing certain things that I know my kids probably might follow. Especially if they already around people that's probably already doing stuff like that. Exactly, 755. That's what I'm saying. They don't understand that. You know, again, how you want your kids to be prosperous, you want your kids to be on the top of a mountain, and you're not teaching them how to climb that mountain. You're not teaching them the right proper aspects to get there. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, we know they already gonna have certain peer pressures because again, we know not everybody gonna follow reason and follow protocol. Understandable. But you again, you're supposed to make sure your kid is in the right type of position, even if they are making certain decisions on their own. You shouldn't be living life too fast. And you shouldn't be showing them how to live life on the fast lane all day, every day. And I'm sorry, but again, there's some of you who just need to be careful. Not going to be funny. And again, for some of you young minded ones, it is the worst type of feeling when your child is literally being the laughing stock because of your actions or what you doing outside. Get it together. Fellas, you too. Get it together. Again, it's about the prosperous road and not the treacherous road. Again, start having love, self-respect, and dignity for yourself. Show your kids the best you can show them. Stop embarrassing them. See, I can say from personal experience, I didn't know half of the stuff my mom was into, or even my aunt, or shoot, half of the people that was around me. I didn't know half of the shit they was doing, and whatever was presented, they always told me to mind my business, and you don't need to worry about it, and go sit down like how it's supposed to be. And then some people who might get mad because now they kids is doing certain things that they ain't supposed to be doing, but guess what? You kept presenting it to them and around them. That's exactly what they gonna do. You forgot. Kids say the darndest damn things. Word, what's going on, my guy? They say the darndest things, but a lot of them they speaking the truth. That's just like you trying to chastise your kid now because your kid is smoking. Who fault is that? You didn't check it when you were supposed to check it. And the first thing they gonna say is, "Well, I see you doing it. Well, you do it, so why I can't do it?" I'm telling you, it's a real sad day in history when some of y'all really just can't grow up and learn to make grown decisions when you're supposed to make them. You're making bonehead, childish decisions, and guess what? Who again is still taking the blunt end of that stick? Them kids. They gotta see you either drunk or whatever on drug you on, and you're not being your normal selves. And again, some of y'all fighting constantly amongst each other, amongst others, in front of. Again, just showing ignorance. Time and a place for everything. And some of you are to a point where you're even getting your kids harmed. And again, that sits bad on you. It will sit bad on you as a parent if something really foul happened to your kid and you could have avoided it or prevented it. Like I said, some of y'all are even to a point of having your kids in the midst of crimes or in the midst of certain things they ain't supposed to be doing. Because it ain't just going to get them jammed up, it's going to get you jammed up too. Yeah, some of y'all just don't care. And I'm not going to lie, if you got people who are willing to even see your downfall, then yeah, you don't need to be around. Again, for the sake of those, get it together. Don't take much. Again, have those conversations when you need to have those conversations. They do works. You're supposed to have that much love and care that you should never have to worry about making the wrong decision or your children making the wrong decision. They shouldn't be following those steps anyway. Prime example for some of you, you don't want your kids to start getting into drugs and alcohol. I don't think you're supposed to be presenting drugs and alcohol around them all around the board. You don't want them to be on them pills. Shouldn't be doing pills or leaving pills around. I'm telling you, there's multiple ways and angles to fight this. Again, essentially, you have to make the right decision. I would hope to the higher power that some of these things can get back to a specific order. And it needs to happen now. But we know it's not going to happen now, at least not right away. These conversations, again, definitely builds not just a solution, but it builds a solid foundation after you come up with a solution. And again, why should they have to suffer because you don't care? Irresponsible ways and irresponsible thinking, easy way to the grave, easy way to be left stagnant. You're supposed to be teaching them how to build, and not just with hands, but with skills and mindset. These will definitely curb your kids from making the ill-fated decisions they don't need to make. Parents, start being parents. Get real active with what you do and what you present around those kids. You can't see that now. Good luck for the future. And good luck for any real success you think might come your way. Give me 1 second. My fault. These conversations are going to keep coming because there's a moral fabric that needs to be restored and it needs to be resewn. It's being ripped in shreds, and most of you act like you don't care, but you should care. It's not the wisest decision, a lot of y'all, to be putting yourselves in danger, especially around your kids. That's why I said the right people within the community are going to be the ones that set the tone and the balance again. I see it happening. It happens in small numbers and small dosages, but it becomes a big factor at some point. It's time to show them how to win. How to eliminate all the unnecessary cancers in life. That's the most important thing you should ever want for your kids. And the main thing, not just success, but you also want to make sure that your kids grow into adulthood happy and that they make the right decisions in life that's going to make them happy and keep them happy. Sound like somebody drunk arguing right now. See again, even stuff like that. There's some of y'all who are embarrassing your kids. You want to fight, you want to get crazy, you want to belittle people, you want to make a scene out of yourself to a point of getting thrown out of establishments. That's embarrassing, especially if it's being recorded and sent on the internet too. That's embarrassing. Again, you've come into adulthood. You got kids to think about. Make sure you're being the perfect example for them, or at least somewhat of a perfect example. No, you don't have to be a goody two shoes if that's what your characteristics ain't. But in the same token, they shouldn't be embarrassed and they shouldn't be having to have those tears of pain and resentment. Break the cycle, man. If I ain't say nothing else to you tonight that you need to hear, hey, hopefully somebody did hear. I ain't gonna hold y'all all night neither because I wanted to just get this out. I felt it needed to come out. Start making the beneficial choices so everything around you could be prosperous and it can have longevity. Stop just thinking about your own personal needs and think about the needs of your kids. That goes for parents, guardians, whoever. You raising kids, you better be mindful of the decisions you make on the streets and any way that you might have meet and greets, so on and so forth. Get yourselves right, man. On that note, definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in. And again, apologies. I was supposed to start at 9, but I had to push it back for specific reasons. But nonetheless, the message was clear tonight. There's some of y'all who are gonna have to catch yourselves and grip onto the reality that it's not solely about you no more. It is about the safety on all angles, even down to the psyche of your kids. Smallest details you miss could be the huge downfall for you. Don't let these opportunities that you have slip through your hands because you're being reckless. Again, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Appreciate everybody that's been a part of this build and still a part of this build, and those who are coming into the fold. We still got more to do. These combos will continue to happen on different scales because as long as there's different things being brought to the parameters of this battlefield, we're going to tackle more for the talks. And again, these talks do bring some sort of peace, resolution, healing, and it gives hope. And again, happy holidays to everybody that's celebrating. I know some of y'all already getting your meals and stuff prepared between the day and tomorrow. So again, hopefully everybody will enjoy themselves. Most likely I'll be back in the morning with the morning safe. And for those who ain't following me on Twitch, please make sure you're doing so. I want to definitely wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season from the bottom of the heart and a prosperous and a happy 2024 and beyond. Let's get this work. You know? Let me get up out of here. I'll definitely see y'all in the morning though. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance tonight, you already know that love is love and it be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real goods. Definitely see y'all in the morning. And most likely I'm gonna just give y'all some music tomorrow. And we gonna rock out. If I don't be on the Twitch, most likely I'll be back on one of the backups. So it don't matter. We gonna rock out Christmas Eve the way he's supposed to. Oh yeah, vacation start Monday, baby. Oh man, definitely a blessing as always to come bring sun to the people. And again, hopefully somebody got something out of this. Oh yeah, and I'm keeping this up. Oh no. This is for everybody. This is not just not for kids. No. Even the kids gotta understand certain things too. There's still certain things that regardless to what you see, you shouldn't always follow. Especially you ain't mentally prepared for whatever's coming behind. But that's another story. You know. But y'all go ahead and stay safe. Keep that third eye open. I see some of y'all running around these streets. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.